All right, so for the warm-up from yesterday, the first composite figure is this, and this is made up of rectangles. There's different ways to solve this problem where you could still have a correct answer, and I'm going to solve it one way. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this rectangle right here. And this rectangle right here is 6 by 10. And rectangles, remember the area of a rectangle is length times width. So 10 times 6 is going to be 60 for that portion right in there. Okay. Then the second portion I'm going to solve for this warm up is going to be this rectangle right here. And this rectangle right here is 8 by 9. And so this area is going to be 72. Okay. Now we're left with this tricky area right in here. And I want to talk about this for a little bit. So I know that this whole length is 18. And I also know that from here to here is 18, but I also know that from here to here is 8. So this part of the 18 is 8. If this part is 8 and this whole thing is 18, that means that the part that I need to figure out is 10. Okay. Second, if this whole thing is 10 and up to here is 6, I know that this little part has to be 4. And I can show it another way. If this whole part is 9 and this is 5, then 5 and 4 equals 9. So this little part here is 4. So this rectangle is 10 by 4, and 10 times 4 is 40. And so now I take my 60 feet squared plus my 40 feet squared plus my 72 feet squared, and I get 172 feet squared. Okay? And so these are tricky problems that we covered earlier in the year, and so I want to go over a few of them. I saw it in the warm-up, and I want to go over some more of these because this is something that is challenging. Okay. The second warm-up problem from yesterday includes this trapezoid on the bottom. It's a trapezoid because it has at least one pair of parallel lines. And then on top of that trapezoid is a rhombus. It looks to be a rhombus or a parallelogram of some sort. Okay? Then, when I look at this, the base of this is 10 inches. The height of this is 8.5 inches. The base of this is 24 inches. And then the height of this is 11 inches. Okay. Next, I need to know, and so this is a parallelogram, and so parallelogram, um, the opposite, the parallel sides, this is 10 inches. That means this bottom one is also 10 inches. Okay. So to figure out the area of this, a parallelogram area is going to be base times height. In this case, the area is going to be 10 times 8.5. And the area of that top part is going to be 85 inches squared. Okay. The bottom part of this is a trapezoid, and trapezoid is tricky. I'd have to look it up for sure, but the area of a trapezoid is you take base 1 plus base 2 times it by the height and then times that whole thing by 1/2. Okay. And let me show you what's going on here. When I have a trapezoid, it has one pair of parallel lines like this. Okay. And this is base 1 and this is base 2. And then the height would be like this is the height, or this is the height right here, okay? To get this crazy formula, what they thought of is if I take this and double this trapezoid and rotate it around, I can make a rectangle. And when I make a rectangle, this right here is base 2. And so essentially what you're doing is you're adding the bases together to get the whole base times the height to get the area of the whole rectangle, but that's 2 trapezoids, so then you cut it in half. And so I take my 24 plus my 10, and I times it by the height of 11 inches. And then I'm going to get 1/2 times 34 times 11, which is going to be 17 times 11. 17 times 11. 187. And I get 187 inches squared. And so I got the bottom area, I got the top area, and then my final answer is just going to be me adding those together. And so it's 85 inches squared plus 187 inches squared. And then I'm going to get 12, 17, 272 inches squared as my answer for that second problem. Okay? And so hopefully by watching this, it makes it easier for you to do the warm-up problem for today. And I know these are tricky problems, but I want you to give it a shot.